Tutorial video on the C programming setup, right? Initially, you're going to see the setup part of the environment. So I'll use an online ID today only for the today's lecture, and later we're going to see an offline ID also, like VS Code Editor or Dev C++ ID that we can use for writing of our code. So in C programming, we're going to see today the very basic part, programming construct. Okay, how to write a program as well as and execute it, right? Okay, so why it is called C programming, right? In the history, if we go back, so there is a nice history. So let me just route you to the chat GPT. Okay, we're going to use this chat GPT heavily during this particular course to understand the theoretical concepts, right? As well as we're going to generate the code, because nowadays generative AI idea, we are not going to invest time for writing or building of the course. We're going to understand the syntax and other stuffs, right? So let us see the history of C programming. It will take just a couple of minutes, and where you can go through the complete information. Here you can see the birth of C programming in no 1972. It is founded by Dennis Ritchie, who is the founder of C programming in the Bell Laboratory. Then the first C compiler was introduced 1973, and based on this unique operating system was written in completely on the C programming. And later, a standardization version has been provided. First standardized version, as you can see, in 1978 by KNRC, that is Dennis Ritchie, along with that Brain Kernighan, which is published the C programming language. And later, ANSI come up with their own standard, and ISO also come up with their own standard in 1990. Subsequently, you will see many further development. We have seen C99, then C11, the latest one, not latest one, modified and updated one. Latest one is C23. Aim to modernize C further with the new features and enhancement, and C11. So mostly we're going to somewhere around between C89, the very first version, okay, along with some features from C99 throughout the course. Okay, so for this course, I am going to use online GDB compiler. You can see, you can search about the Google and type online GDB compiler, and you can just log in. Okay, with your if you have a simple Gmail account, okay, you can log in over there. Let me just show you. I already have a couple of. No, I have an email ID, and let me just select my email ID, and it is good to go, fine. So here, from here, you need to select the language. So you're going to see the C programming language to work on it. So it is initially loaded with some comments and some stuffs over there, right? Okay, so remember, before we kick start with the C programming, let me just tell you the very basic components of a C programming or any programming language someone must go through. So first of all, we're going to see the data types. Okay, so these are the, you can say, the pillars or the main components of any programming language. If you know any other language, you know the data types, right? Then how to take input and output, because without this it is impossible for us, right, to understand how to interact with the user, because we're going to see the console based programming, right? And then after this, we're going to see that very basic programming building, suppose types of statements, because we're going to write the statements. These statements will generate the command to the CPU, and CPU will behave as per the, or produce the output as per the statements written. So we're going to see at first the types of data type. Different types of data type means in real world we have different types of data. No, so we have an integer like these numbers. Okay, uh, fine. Similarly, we have fractional numbers like 4.56, 3.92. We also have the scientific version with the exponential version, right, with e. Similarly, we have a long no precision values. like 5.3926789101 like this long number. We also need to take care about the characters, right? A single character, and sometimes we also have multiple character. We called them string. So these are the different types of data that normally deal with real world. So that will be covered under data types. Thereafter, you're going to see how to take the information from an user through the console. So here you're going to see about the console-based, right, C programming. Okay, so you're going to see about the how to take the input from the user, how to interact with the user, and how to process the input, and the different types of statements. Like we have an expression like this. Okay, this is also assignment operation. We have used assignment operator. So similar to we have the conditional statement, right? Then we also have a function. So you're going to see conditional statements. Then we have jump statements in C programming. Then we have the looping. Then we have functions. Okay, so we'll see the types of statements, right? So now let us see the environment where you're going to work. Let us introduce the environment. So we're going to use online GDB compiler. We're going to write our stuffs. The very most important part, C programming always start with a common method, right? This start with a main function. Okay, so this will be your entry point of execution, and it will be always again it will be your exit point of execution as well. So program execution start with main and program execution ends with also main. We're going to see throughout the course and we'll always start with this particular method. Okay, so let's now just start writing a very basic program. Okay, and let's see how to use it. And another part before we kick start with the C programming, the two things you need to remember in this about the C programming. It is a compiler based programming language. Okay, so we need a compiler. So if you're going to see the offline installation of any particular ID, like we're going to see later, VS code editor, or we can also use dev C++, or you can also use code blocks for write your C programming. So they will have a GCC compiler, the standard compiler. That compiler will take your source file, that is .c, that will be our source file, and it will give us an exe, and that exe can we can double click and it will get we can see the output, right? In between there are many other stuffs, linker loaders are there, assembly code it's going to generate, right? Header file stuffs are there. So we'll slowly we're going to introduce it. So these are the overall thing that we're going to see. So let us just start with C program, right? So the very basic part what we need in a C programming environment, right? They're asking the main method we need to start. Okay, so let's start the main method, how we can do the stuffs. Let me just increase the font size so it will be okay for you. Now it is already large, fine. Okay, I think a dark background is okay. We'll start with the main method. So we called it a method. Okay, uh, or you can say function, and that particular program, this operating system will always start executing from that point of your C programming, right? So let us just show you how you can going to print out a simple thing. So for this we can use a printf statement. Okay, and let me just show you hello user to the C programming. Okay, fine. And remember most important point, let us just discuss a few points here. Okay, so remember most important part in C programming, these things we called what a statement. Okay, we called this thing as a statements. Just to reduce the, let me just reduce the size. Check. Fine. So these things are in C programming we called statement. So it is an printf statement, right? So printf is what? Printf is a function. Printf is a function which is already defined in the library. Okay. So it is a called standard output function. It is a standard output function. Means we have used the printf for producing the output to the screen. Okay. So here this function we have used here, I have used here just to print this particular line. Okay. So how to execute this particular thing? So let me just show you. You can save this, save. Okay, it will ask for the project. So I have created some folder over there. So I want to save this particular thing under C programming, and the name of the project is hello uh, stuffs. Okay, so here you can click run. Let me just show you. So as I told, it is already defined in the some of the library. It is saying that implicit declaration of function printf required here. There are some warning and to provide the declaration of printf, there are some warnings are there in the screen, and we can see the output hello user to the C programming. Right. So the right way to execute this program, we need to add some library over here. As I told, it is a part of standard output function. It's a standard output function. So for that, we need to use one header file. So the keyword we use hash include. Include is the keyword, right? And hash is the preprocessor directive. Remember, and we're going to use a library here stdio.h, right? Save this and now run this. You'll see there is no more warning because now the compiler has been find the definition of printf, that is I have mentioned that it is available in the stdio.h. Okay, so now let us understand this hello program for more in detail. This thing is what? This thing is a keyword. Okay, so here let me just go to the chat GPT and I can show you here a list the keywords of sorry C programming. So if I just scroll down here, you just can see these are the list of keywords. We will see all these keywords slowly. So many keywords are there. We may not see the last part. Okay, so there is no, we did not find the include word as a keyword. Okay, so let us just engage with the ChatGPT more. List ANSI C keywords. You can say 32 keywords are there as I mentioned. So is include is a keyword or it will be a preprocessor directive. No, include is not a keyword, it is a preprocessor directive, right? Okay, fine. So we understood here it is not a keyword. So it is a preprocessor directive, right? So it is a preprocessor directive. Preprocessor directive means before start processing your code by the preprocessor software, a simple system software available with the compiler. It's going to fetch the information from this library. So this is what this thing is, a header file. Okay, so remember all the header file is ends with an extension .h. Okay, .h represents header file. What is the purpose of this? The purpose of this here, if we are using any function, that is a function have two things. Remember, function has a body. Okay, means you need to inform what this function will do. Okay, so if we are writing that function, we are writing that body, it will be user defined function. If we are not writing, we're simply using it, it will be a system function. Okay, so it should be part of a library. So in C programming, we call the library is nothing but a header file. Okay, so we'll see other functions available in the h. So as of now, we are using this printf. So what is the format of this printf? Let us just write it here. Here you can see I have used the printf function, and whatever I have written, it is written inside a double quotes. Most important part. Okay, it starts with a double quote and it ends with a double quote because it is a string. Okay, so in C programming, remember strings are represented by double quotes. Whatever you're going to write here, it will be represented as a string. Okay, so the format of printf, the very basic part, we need a string. Later we're going to see the other part. As of now, it is okay. We just pass a string and your compiler will process it. Okay, next part is here you can see the what is this int. So whenever we write a function in C programming, there's a component, right? So main method, main is a method, or you can say function. A function comes with a return type, remember, or we can say the type of function, return type. Okay, so here when we write int main, what it is, this int is the return type of main. So return means you're going to return something. Yeah, definitely. So when the main method is get called by whom, main method will be get called by operating system. Okay, operating system, it is totally under the control of operating system, right? So it knows that from where to start the execution. So OS start the execution from here, and OS see that you are using printf. Then OS will be look for that means the CPU. Definitely OS alone will not work. OS will just call the method and give it to the CPU. CPU wants the where is the definition of printf, how what to do with the printf. Then CPU will see the preprocessor directive code, that is there anything about printf is written in this file. Okay, so yes, one CPU find and CPU executes. But how to inform that I have reached the end of the function? You should stop execution now. So see, main method starts with a bracket and ends with a bracket, right? So we called it open curly braces, okay, and this one is the closed curly braces. Okay, so I call normally it is a block coding because it is always start with a block and end in the same block, and if you write the main like this, so it is nothing but it is the body of main. Means what main will do, we'll just write our instruction or our command here. So once the body is over, normally we end the body of the function by using a statement called return. Okay, return means from where you have come you must go over there. Okay, sometimes we did not write the return statement, so by default OS will consider there is a return statement of you returning either 1 or 0, that means an integer. Okay, so if I just add this, just close this extension. If I just add this statement, you can see the return. Okay, so I just return 0, and you can see in the console here the program finished with exit code 0. That means even though you are not returning, by default they're returning some value. Okay, and you can come out from the console by press of enter key, right? So save this code and run this. You will see the same output, no change, just we are returning a value to the environment that is called the main method and informing that it is the end of the function. Now return back to the same location from where you have jumped. Okay, so this is a very basic structure. Okay, and few more points we need to discuss here. Okay, you can see this line is end with a semicolon, and this particular line is also end with a semicolon. We called it end of statement. Okay, you might thought that why there is no semicolon here, okay, and why there is no semicolon here, and even though why there is no semicolon here. Okay, so what I told, what this is called end of statement. Remember, end of statement. So This closing curly brackets is not a statement. Okay, statement means doing something. So okay, closing curly brackets is only uh, closing of the body of main here. So it is not a statement. It is not doing anything. Just close the body, right? And here, as I told, there are different types of statements. So this is one of the statement that is called pre-processor directives, right? You can see here it is written, no, include is not a keyword, sorry for my mistake. It is a part of preprocessor directive. So what preprocessor directives do here, you can see the directive hash include is used to include the contents of a header file. So as I told, so this header file will have lots of functions. One of the functions I am using printf. So you can tell the compiler from where to get the code about the printf, and also a program during the pre-processing phase. So we'll see what are the different phases are there. Pre-processing is one of the phase. Compiling, pre-processing, execution, linking of another phase is there. We'll see it. Okay, so it's not a keyword. Fine. So understood. I hope it is clear. Okay, fine. Okay, this is the very basic part. So whenever you just end a statement, it just must be end with a semicolon. Okay, okay. Let's proceed further. So now, as I just mentioned a few minutes back, the important part, the data type. Okay, data type is the very key. So what are the data types that we have in our C programming, right? So let me just list out here. We have integer. Okay, what is the purpose? Remember, our C programming is a fully typed language. Typed language. What do you mean by typed language? Typed language means, suppose if I give you some, I will tell you, I just give you 10 rupees. So 10 is a number, right? It is a full number, full integer number. If I tell you that I just tell you, give me 20 rupees 50 paisa, so it is not a whole number. It is a number with some fractions. Okay. And if I just ask you, what is your name? So your name comes with a series of characters, right? Combined together, it comes the meaningful name. So these things we call data, real world data, right? So for an example, your name is a data, your age is a data, your mobile number is a data. Okay, the bank balance you have is also a data, meaningful informations, right? So to hold this information into programming environment and to process them, we need what? We need data types. I hope the definition is now clear. We need data types. For what purpose? To hold the information, real world information, and to process it. So to process it in C programming, in any programming, we need data type. Some programming language doesn't require to tell in advance that what type of data your program going to deal. But some programming language requires to tell in advance what type of data that you're going to deal. Okay. So in such category, C fall under this category. We called all those categories is a typed, not only typed, it is a strongly typed language. Without informing the type, you cannot work. Right? Okay, fine. So now let me show you. Suppose I want to hold a number 20. How to do that? I want to hold a number 20. Suppose if you want to give, if you would give me that number 20, so I'll ask what do you mean by 20? Is it belongs to something? Is it 20 rupees you are giving me? Or some number that I should recall, I should remember? Later you might require that number. Okay, no. So some calculation purpose, is there some value of something? It's some measurement, right? So every value has some name. Every value. In this world, every value comes with a name. So if I just going to write my age is suppose 38. So if I tell only 38, so you'll not understand what is 38. I'll tell that my age is 38. I'm 38 years old. So you need to identify from the statement that value is belongs to some name. That name is age. And today I'm 38. Maybe tomorrow I become 39. So this thing is called a variable. whose value can change at any point of time. Okay, whose value can change at any point of time, like a temperature of the day. It may be change, may not change, right? So now suppose your Aadhaar card number, Aadhaar number. So Aadhaar number cannot change. So the number, the value, the variable, or sorry, the name, whose value cannot change, we called it constants. Like in maths, we are using pi as a constant and many such values. Okay, so there are two things we're going to handle. One is the variable, okay, and another is the constant. So variable means that value can change. Then as an example, age, and some now we can also have a phone number can change. Yeah, so it will be variable, but the ID like Aadhaar card, then we have our PAN card, then we also have if you are part of some organization, we'll have our employee ID. We'll also have our as a student registration number. So till the time I'm working in an organization, my employee ID will never change, and till the time you are associated with some university or college, your registration number is remain same. So these are called constants. Okay. So to use those information into program, we need what? We need data types, right? So how to create a variable and constants? So here is the syntax. You can just note it down. We'll start with a data type. Okay, so we'll use some keywords for that purpose. As you can see in the chat GPT, they have already mentioned a couple of keywords. Yeah, there you can see the float, int, long, short, char, double. Okay, so these are all data types. Okay, these are all data types, right? So the syntax will be data type, give a space, and then name, and a name will be there by which that any value will represent. And two things possible now after this, you either end this statement with a semicolon, so it will be a declaration statement. So we called it declaration, remember. Okay, and suppose now I want to create a variable. So I'm telling I'm 38 years old. It is a whole number. So in that case, we'll use a data type called integer. So the keyword for that is int in short. And name I'll use age. And if I did not assign the value to it, so it is a declarative statement. Later I can initialize that variable with my age 38. So this is an assignment operation because I have used assignment operator over there. And this is a declarative statement. Both the statements can be add together also like this. Integer age 38, and it is a statement. So statement must be end with a semicolon. This is very much important. Okay, so let me show you in the online GDB compiler this stuff. So so integer age, right? I have not assigned any value here. Okay, so later I'm updating my age as 38. Okay, fine. So you can see every line is end with semicolon. What if I did not end with semicolon? Just save and execute and see the error here. I will see that expected a semicolon before printf. Okay, it is saying that no, in that particular function main there are some issue at line number 6. Okay, where semicolon is missing. Okay, so now I have taken that value. Fine. Now next point is that how to print that value. Suppose I want to print my name as well as my age. Okay, so how to do that? Same, we'll use the printf statement, and what I want to print, I want to print my age. So I come up with the string, right? Next thing is what? We need to modify that string now in printf. Previously, we are using that hello stuff simple. We have written this printf and double quotes. We just pass one string and it just display. So now, along with the string, if you see it carefully, line number 8, I need to also produce the value in this form. I want to display in this form. So now question is that I can, sir, you can directly write 38. What is the issue? There is no issue if I directly write 38. My age is 38. Your age may be 20. So in that case, what you need to do? We'll modify that. So normally we never modify the printf statement because it is a output statement, right? So here further we need to modify our printf statement. So printf, look at the syntax now. Here, whatever the string information that you want to display, you can keep. And now you need to print one integer value, right? So we need a format specifier. So please note down, we need a format specifier. We need to inform the CPU what type of value that we can print. Okay, so we are using integer, right? So for integer, the format specifier is %d, which can print a negative number as well as it can print a positive number. So easily you can remember integer represents decimal, so d represents a decimal value, right? And now I'm using a format specifier %d here. And now your string is completed, so now it is a formatted string. Formatted string, right? And now when you pass one format specifier here, you need to also pass a name from where CPU will fetch the value. So the name is in our case is age and its semicolon. So did you understand the complete syntax? We need to design our formatted string. Again, I'm writing it here. Design a formatted string. So I'm just writing age equal to %d. Okay. How many format specifier I have used in that first argument of the printf? So it is an argument of printf. I have used only one format specifier, that is %d. So what is %d? %d is a format specifier that is used to print an integer value, right? And number of format specifier, it should be justified with the number of variable name or constant name that will provided after this comma. Okay, comma separated values we need to provide. Okay, comma separated values we need to provide. So here I am providing my age. So what CPU will do, or that my compiler will do, it's going to fetch the information. Okay, it will fetch the information from right to left, this direction, right to left. And this particular for specifier will be replaced by the value of age. Let's go back to the console here. So now I'm using %d, comma and age. Save and run. You can see I get the value 20. Right, so I think this video is sufficient where you can understand we have discussed about the basic setup of compiler. I have not installed anything, simply I have used an online compiler, online GDB. In the next video we will see the setup, okay, required setup for this. And we have discussed about the most important part, the entry point of execution, that is main, and exit point of a execution is also main. We have discussed why this int keyword has been used here. We have also seen how to use an output function, and to use an output function like printf, we need a directive statement, preprocessor directive statement, that is start with the include, okay, and hash is the symbol by which your compiler will understand it is a preprocessor directives, right? And it is the purpose of to add a library where a particular function has been defined. So this printf is defined here. So stdio.h will have the definition of this printf function. Okay, second thing that we have discussed, that initially we have started with the printf statement that comes with the very basic thing, that is printf comes with only a string. Okay, so we have written this printf hello, so it's print the hello stuffs. But if we want to take the real world data, we need to deal with some types. Okay, so for an example, I have taken age. Age is a whole number, complete number. So for that, we need to use integer data type, because C programming is a completely typed programming language. So every time that you want to use some value, it has to be associated with some name. Okay, so that thing can be done into two different steps. One is the declarative statement, here you can see, and next is the initialization. You can combine these two steps together, so it is declaration plus initialization. Okay, so in that case, now line number 6 will be updation. Okay, so I have updated with the 20, and now I update initially I have initialized the age with 20, and I update the value of age as 30. I can update the value within this particular body of main. A main is a method, so it must have a return type. Okay, it is the name which is system declared and user defined, because we are defining the body. And system declared means I cannot change the name of the function. It is the entry point of the execution. Okay, so it start with open curly braces, means start of the body, and whenever you feel that main is end, you must end that particular body with a closed curly bracket. So it is always come in a pair. Second thing, in a printf, we need to pass a formatted string inside the double quotes. In C programming, double quotes represents a string data type. Sorry, literals of the string, constants of the string, right? So here we need to write a string along with the format specifier. So for integer, there are other format specifier as well for signed, unsigned, but right now we are using with percentage %d, which can print a positive number as well as negative number. Okay, so I have not demonstrated anything as a negative number. Let me just demonstrate here. I'm passing here minus 89. Okay, and let me just save this and run it. You can see, yeah, we have the negative number, and if I want to print the positive number as positive number, so I can just pass a positive value here, and you can see I get the positive value. Okay, fine. So percentage d can print a positive number as well as negative number. So percentage d is the format specifier that we have used to print an integer number. Okay, fine. And every statement must be ended with a semicolon. A function can return a value. Okay, so here main method returning an integer to the operating system to informing that is the end of the program. So we are returning 0, or even though I can return 1 as well. Let me just execute this. Here you can see that is program finished, and we exit with 1. Okay, we are not using other integers because some other integers might be used for some other purpose in the system, some error code or some other things. So use only 0 and 1. Normally I use 0. If you did not write the return statement, still the main method will work here, because by default it's going to return the 0. Here it is, you can see. See, by default returning 0, even though I did not return any statement, but I have written int main. Okay, so that you can, if I did not even write int main, you can see the issue here. Warning, return type defaults, it is saying that default is integer type, so I have to mention. If I did not mention, there is a warning. So if I mention, warning will be gone, and it will be take care automatically and return as 0. Okay, I hope you understand the process. Okay, the basic structure of C programming. In the next video we're going to see how to prepare your PC for a basic setup with the compiler or the ID, like we're going to use Visual Studio Code Editor, right? I hope if you like this, give me a thumbs up and continue. Right.